Mom, tell us about what your favorite toys were when you were a kid, and what.
I'd have to say what my favorite things are, because I didn't have a lot of toys that I can remember. But when we went up to, we camped. Went camping, and and my dad and I caught a squirrel. I think it wasn't a ground squirrel, some kind of a squirrel. And so he rigged up a little box that would catch him, So then we caught one, and then we brought it down to Riverside. And then about the day that my dad, he wanted to make a big cage for it. Well, the day that he made a big cage for it, it died.
Oh.
And that was because Riverside is so hot. And he was not used to hot weather, living up in the mountains. So that was sad.
Well, that kind of reminds me about when we were kids living on Long Island in Oyster Bay. We found a bunch of little bunny rabbits. Their mom had been killed by a dog or something, and Dad, we all found these tiny little babies that didn't have a mother, and so Dad created a big cage for us. He built it. It was up off the ground, probably 4 feet, and like the next day, the bunnies were gone. Do you know can you solve that mystery for us? Did they die, and then Dad got rid of them and didn't want us to see the dead bunnies?
I didn't even remember that there was some bunnies. So
oh, really?
I don't know.
You can't solve the
remember
mystery
that.
for us. Well, he told us that he didn't know anything about it, that they must have gotten out, but the cage wasn't knocked over. It didn't look.
Somebody must have gotten in there and taken them out.
Yeah, maybe, or they died and Dad didn't want us to see the dead bunnies.
But if they're
sad.
used to being in that climate, then that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyway, but I do digress. Okay, any other toys or favorite things?
Well, I did have this record player when I was in high school. Played 35 size records, and I enjoyed that a lot. That was in my room. But then, gosh, when I was in the 7th grade, I started sewing. So I spent a lot of time sewing from 7th grade, forever.
So what kinds of things did you sew?
Oh, I would sew dresses.
So your own
Dresses to
clothes.
wear. I made all of my trousseau, everything in my trousseau, one summer.
Wow.
I made my mother's dress to be worn in line when we were married, when Don and I were married. That was very pretty.
Wow.
But I made it in Utah, and and my mother wasn't there to fit her, so I had a roommate there that I thought was about their same size, and I fit it to my roommate.
And did it work
fit
out?
my mother.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.